does this sheath make my axe look fat? In all seriousness, this is a really slick way to carry an axe. Myself, Joe Flowers, and a handful of others spent some time with Steve Watts this weekend, and we each made a custom sheath to carry our axe. It's just so slick. I mean, you don't have to worry about it flopping in the way. You do want it to ride high, but it's very safe. Even if you don't have your strap connected to the mask itself, it's still not going to come out the way it's constructed. So just a ingenious idea, which I'll show you a little more detail here in a second. I'll go put it on a table. But very slick way to carry an axe, and this is all there is to it. And what's nice about this too is when you go to use your axe, you throw this back around or over your neck and shoulder, and then you don't have to worry about losing your mask. So pretty slick. Let me show it to you in a little more detail. So here's a close-up of the custom carry axe sheath. Towards the heel at the bit, or just behind the bit, is where I've poked, or I punched with a leather punch, a hole, and I just happened to make sure I made my welt move this far back as well for the extra strength. Not that you really need it with such a light axe, but this would be a nice point where you can adjust the length as well. So this leather thong, or whatever you decide to use as an attachment, you can adjust based on the clothes that you're wearing, you know, winter clothes versus summer as an example. At the pole, it really doesn't matter how you attach this. I used a rivet and just folded the leather over, and then again just used a piece of leather thong to hold it together. The trick, or the slick part of this solution, is what you do about 2/3 of the way down the handle, and that's where you actually put a slit, and this is where it controls it. Obviously you don't want it too far towards the end where it could flop out, and you don't want it too low where you don't have control of the handle. Right around 2/3 really just seems to keep this thing hugged close towards your body. So just playing around, I took my wildlife hatchet and used the existing sheath that it came with and punched a hole in the same place, and then at the pole in the sheath I punched 2 holes, and I used a fisherman's knot here to kind of support the axe head a little bit better. And then just running 550 cord, I used a figure 8 knot and then an overhand to hold it at the right length. And then this just runs around your body like the other sheath, and then I put a point where you can adjust it again based on your clothing. So I just made this out of a piece of 550 cord, but you know, anything that you could use for a shoulder harness will work. So I'll probably go back and do a cobra stitch, or do braid some 550, or find another piece of leather and just attach it to what I've already put on here in terms of 550. So really slick solution to carrying your axe safely in the woods, hands-free. And again, when you're going to be using your axe for a while, you're not going to misplace it if you throw it back over your shoulder and neck. So hope you enjoyed that. Thanks.